Hi, this video is about goal setting, and I'll tell you about the greatest race I ever ran. It's important to set goals for anything that we do, really. It could be for school, or for life, or for cartoons. That did not correlate, but anything else. So I have 4 steps that help me when I'm goal setting that I'm gonna share with you. Step 1 is vision. I was the second fastest girl in my primary school, and I was assigned to run a race with secondary school students. Okay, so it was me and the fastest girl in the school, and we were running against junior secondary and senior secondary. There was 8 of us on the track, and I was the youngest. Everyone was like, oh, she's only young, there's no way she can win the race and stuff like that. And I was thinking not about what they were saying, but how the hell I was gonna get to the finish line. The main goal was to finish the race. Okay, now step 2 is set smaller goals. Okay, I almost always fail at launching myself in a new race. So I just said, today's not the day that I'm gonna fail this simple thing. So I listened, I tuned everything else out, and then the whistle came. I was a second late and everybody was in front of me. Alright, well, how do I get there? Smaller goals. So first, I need to be number 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And now, that's where step 3 comes in. Action. So action is actually executing, okay? If it's not already obvious. Why I say this is, a lot of us, we do make plans, we do have goals, we do have things we want to do, but we find excuses to not actually do them. So action. I started to run, alright? I ran like it was the last race I was ever gonna run, okay? So I passed the 7th person, I passed the 6th person, I passed the 5th, the 4th, and this is when things got really crazy, alright? So I was running at my maximum capacity, alright? My body couldn't take it anymore. Now this is where step 4 comes in. Did I say 5? I said 5, right? Yeah. So step 4 is follow through. Sometimes we do take action, and then we get to a point where we're like, well, we don't want to do this anymore. We don't really feel like going through with the whole thing. We don't want to do that extra. We just want to stop. Follow through. Now this is the moment that I decided that I need to win this race. And I don't care what happens to my body, I need to push it to win this race. So I started to run. God, I ran. I was now in 3rd place. Every single time I've run a race, because of this girl, L, who was the fastest, I was always in 2nd place. And I said, today's gonna be my day, alright? I was pushing myself. All I thought about was the finish line. And then I was in 2nd place. Now I've gotten to the place where I've always been. I've gotten to the place where it always made me feel like I was less, always made me feel like I wasn't enough, the place that nobody wants to be. I didn't want to let the noise in, because the minute you let the noise in, you start to get distracted. Now I've come to the point of the race where I normally slow down. This is the hardest point. It's the point before you actually succeed, the point before you finish, the point where you need to put the most maximum effort. That is where a lot of us slow down. Just before we're about to make a breakthrough, I kept pushing myself. The next thing, I'm right next to Elle, right? Oh my God. I could only imagine what she was thinking, right? I'm thinking, I've run this race many times, and I gotta win somehow. Every time I try to finesse the race, it doesn't work out. What can I do differently? Closer to the finish line, it was obvious that we might have a little problem. Okay, I didn't want anybody to have to debate over who won this race, because we were in the exact same position. You have to see beyond the pain, see the finish line only. So the closer we got to it, just before we were about to cross, I was even surprised where it came from. I don't know what happened. I pushed with every ounce in my body, leaped off the ground, and through the finish line. I said, the only way I would have made this race is I'm gonna die if I threw that finish line. Next thing was it was the most beautiful experience that I'd ever had while running track. I leaped for my goal and I made it. Okay, everyone just carried me up high, you know, like put a medal on my neck and shit, and then move me around and stuff. At that moment, it was my moment, not anybody else. You know, everybody got their eyes on me first. And it's the principle from the story that makes me just love that memory so much. The principle of moving forward, regardless of any obstacles. Now, this can be applied to every aspect of your life. You know, maybe if you want to get somewhere that just seems like it's, you know, so big, so broad, make it simple. Start with simple, smaller steps. So I'll remind you of the 4 steps. Step 1, vision. See the end of the race. Second, smaller steps. Third, action, execute. And 4th, follow through. Finish the race. I thank you so much for watching. I do have content coming every week. If you're new here, do subscribe to my channel. The link is somewhere on the screen. And for everyone who's already subscribed, thank you so much for getting me to 50 subscribers. That is a nice, small, juicy goal. Thank you. See you next week.